And we are live back once again. Another live stream. This time we will be discussing Demon Slayer episode 2 of our fourth season. This episode is supposed to focus on Giyu, our boy Giyu, Mr. Emo himself, Mr. All of the Emotions, Mr. All the Way Above Me. Not this Hashira, but the one above. Let's, without further ado, get this party started. All right, guys, Brent here back from Geek Variants. We cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, Demon Slayer. And I gotta say, it has been a quick and enjoyable ride thus far. Episode 1 started off with an absolute banger. I mean, I've read the source material that has all of this covered, but at the same time, I still wasn't expecting to see our boy, well, my boy, I should say, Tengen back in the fold. So having him come back was a huge step for me. It was a huge step for something exciting to see that even after his insane battle, which I still believe season 2 of Demon Slayer was peak Demon Slayer. Not saying it can't be topped, and it will definitely be topped when we get to season 5. But at the same time, the action sequences in that were crisp. They were beautiful. The storytelling was well done. Tengen was a great and relatable Hashira, and him. And even though the whole three wives thing is definitely a controversial take, I still think that he ultimately was able to retire happy, live the life that he wanted, and that the women that he was with wanted to as well. So the fact he was able to not only mentally come back but physically come back and give everyone the training they're all, so he can inspire and get all these ruffians in the Demon Slayer Corps back up to snuff is definitely something that is insane to see. It's great to see. I'm very excited to see. All indications point to this next episode will be dropping here in about 27 minutes. Everyone's saying 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is what we're looking at for the premiere of this episode. So I'm very excited to see that and everything that comes with it. I still got to catch up on Kaiju number 8. My boy Will covered it yesterday, and we had a heck of a time. He had a heck of a time doing so. Looked like he really enjoyed the episode, so I'm excited to see what I think of it. I've read the manga, so I'm already a little ahead of that. So I'll be able to kind of give some other perspectives in the comment section once I've officially caught up on that one without trying to give away too much. Because there's a fine line between knowing and spoiling. And I like knowing, I don't like spoiling. I know what's happening with My Hero, I know what's happening with Demon Slayer, I know what's happening with Kaiju number 8. That being said, spoiling it for other people, not my bag of tricks. That's definitely not something that I'm going to be out here doing for anybody or for anything, ruining other people's times, because that's not what we're about here. All indications say that looks like actually 10:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is what we got here. So we could be in for a long and wild ride of me trying to spitball because I believed it was 10:30. So let's see ultimately what we have got here in store. Everyone in chat, more than welcome. Sound off. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what you want to discuss. Because there's been a lot of great stuff, a lot of great talking points. It's been a great it's been a great time overall to see the excitement that was going on within the anime community just this weekend alone has been insane to see. There's tons of stuff that has gone viral, and there's tons of stuff that is leaking out even further. Because a lot of the chapters that were released, especially from either Shonen or Mappa, well, I mean, just Shonen chapters released from Shonen, apologies, have been absolutely crazy to see just where things are going. Just being able to speculate and see where things have transpired to and what level they are currently at. Because JJK just had a huge chapter release, one that could potentially well, one that has already potentially crippled the internet in so many ways, and so many fanboys and fangirls' minds are collectively just folding at the seams in a way that honestly, I thought the individual that everyone was talking about was gone for good. And, with all things, anime saying that a certain character is gone for good, usually you can be very confident, but in JJK, you can't really be confident about who they're talking about because, well, JJK is JJK. There's tons of characters that come, there's tons of characters that go. Whether they're going to be around for a long time or a short time, entirely up to the author. And it's going to be very interesting to see ultimately where they go. Because the chapter that was released, internet's crippled. It's in shambles. If you go on any forum, you just type in JJK, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't do so if you're not already up to date on what's going on, just for the fact of some people like just being able to watch the show and not have things necessarily spoiled for them. So being able to come in with a more interesting perspective or a more open mindset of just, hey, I just enjoy watching the anime as it premieres. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I like reading the manga so I can be ahead of what's going on currently in the show. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that would be necessarily wrong is if you know the information of what's coming out and you spoil it for other people. I like alluding to things that are going on for those who are caught up without doing anything in any sort of manner that would ultimately cause spoilers or headaches or troubles for anybody else within the fandom. And then on top of that, Boruto even just had a chapter that has gone viral, which, seeing what JJK posted, that I didn't think Boruto would be one of the animes that has gone to that level to where they are able to still use the Naruto fandom that has stuck around and been able to revolutionize itself, push itself even further into the mainstream. And I'm really excited to see ultimately where that chapter goes because it looks ultimately like one of the characters that I actually enjoy in Boruto. Because I'm going to say I've watched 107 episodes, hoping for it to get great. It didn't really get the same vibe I got from Naruto, but again, Naruto was a slow grind. Like if you told me, hey, you got to watch all of the original stuff all over again, I'd be very, very bored up until we got to the point where Zabuza is introduced, and then after that, we'd be good for a while. So that being said, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad anime. Just some animes take longer to jump into the material that you really, really want covered. Because like Black Clover, I want to say, really, really love the anime. It took like 30 episodes for me to be like, okay, cool. Now we're getting to the part that I'm really excited to see, and then from there it just took off, which I'm so hoping, so hoping, fingers crossed, and all that good stuff, that we will have that show, that series, all that good stuff to be able to pop up here within, by the end of the year, because there have been new chapters that have been released from Black Clover that will at least get some kind of preliminary announcement or some kind of heads up, something of, more prominent stature, so we can get that anime back, because Hell's Paradise is supposed to be coming back at the end of the year as well. Super excited for that. And then Solo Leveling also expected to be coming back right around the corner. So anime fans, do not think you're going to be abandoned in any way, shape, or form. You're going to be eaten very, very good at the end of the year, one way or the other. And I'm excited with where we're at right now because we're eating good on the weekends. Weekend eating is good eating. Friday night / Saturday morning. It's really Saturday morning. It's just so insanely early. I just don't really speculate it as being Saturday with My Hero Academia. Thank you for those who've been joining along for the live streams and been hanging out with us for all that good stuff. And then as well for those who've been watching Kaiju number 8 with Will. And then Demon Slayer with me on Sundays. Like we have been having a great, great time discussing all things anime. Right now, I'll say not all, most major shows like a Marvel show, a DC show, Star Wars show, Lord of the Rings, everything is on break basically for the next 2 weeks. Don't worry, got tons of content coming out for you guys, theories, fan speculation, our thoughts on certain fandoms, how things are going to go. we got stuff for you to cover the gaps in the meantime on the YouTube, because within the next 2 weeks we're going to be back up and rolling. Because let me just kind of give you a early preview of the schedule. I have to write these things up because my attention span is that of a fly. Starting on the 4th of June, we have Star Wars The Acolyte. June 13th, we have The Boys returning. And June 16th, House of the Dragons, Season 2. So basically, we just got to make it to that first week of June. Once we hit that first week of June, it's going to be Content City. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The Acolyte's opening with a 2-episode premiere, which we'll have both on the Twitch and on YouTube. Excited to see where this goes. I know the fandom is mixed on the official what's good, what's bad, what's indifferent. They're kind of in this weird hodgepodge situation of they want to like the show because they want to like the content, but anytime they put a female character of some manner, shape, form, or otherwise on the screen in a prominent role, for whatever reason, things can get a little dicey, even though female characters have never been the problem. Carrie Fisher was insanely strong in the originals. Natalie Portman was insanely strong in the prequels. The sequels we just didn't care for because the writing was bad, because Rey probably shouldn't have been the main character. I think Finn was way more interesting than she ever was. I think his backstory got absolutely decimated. Having an ex-stormtrooper become a Jedi would have been far more fascinating and far more nuanced than what Rey was participating, because we've seen, the orphan who was a nobody who became a somebody arc before. Only, to later find out that, the orphan we thought was a nobody was still related to somebody, which was the exact story they did with Rey. It just copied and pasted. It's just instead of Skywalker bloodline, we had Palpatine. And, that was what it was. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it definitely wasn't what the fans were ultimately hoping for when the sequel trilogy was announced. So now that they have The Boys following directly afterwards, and I gotta say, Amazon has been hitting their shows out of the park of late. Between Invincible at the early onset of this year, between Fallout, which snuck up on me and made me an absolute huge fan of the show, and Fallout 4. Thank you to those who've been following along on the YouTube for all those streams. It's been an incredible time. It's been an incredible journey. Really, really enjoyed what we've had ongoing. It's been a pleasure getting to talk with each and every one of you. A special shout out to Cash On, who has been hanging out and talking quite a bit in the streams, which has been a fantastic and enjoyable time. I prefer having engaging dialogue with people. I like getting to know our viewers. I like getting to know our geek variants. I like getting to see what your perspectives are, what kind of quests you want me to do, where we're going to go with our adventure and all that good stuff. So everyone who's been checking out the Fallout 4 streams on the YouTube, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate y'all. It's been a fantastic time. But as I was saying, Amazon's been hitting their shows out of the park. Between having Invincible the early onset of the year, follow that up with Fallout 4, and then we're going to circle back later on, literally within a month, and we're going to go into The Boys. That's wild, because they even ended the year strong. They had Gen V, which was fantastic. We had the unfortunate passing of that actor. They've decided not to recast. That's the right decision. A great actor gives a great performance. You don't necessarily always have to recast and just move on, brush them to the side, pretend it didn't happen. That's wrong to do so. It's like why Marvel hasn't recast Chadwick. Black Panther is an iconic character that they need to have on screen in some way, shape, manner, or form. But it doesn't have to be T'Challa, which is why so many people, when X-Men 97 finished, they were up in arms and up and at him, because they're like, why did we get T'Chaka? We wanted T'Challa. Well, I think this still falls kind of in the same boat, regardless you call it animated versus, live. So there was a lot of stuff to break down pertaining to that. But at the same time, I can understand where people were coming from in regards to the passion, the vigor, the intensity in which they exhibited from that. Because that show, X-Men 97, that was incredible from start to finish. and I can't say enough good things about it. I am not an X-Men fan, openly saying it. Not an X-Men fan. Not an X-Men fan of the comics, not an X-Men fan in the movies, not an X-Men fan in the TV shows. I tolerated or kind of enjoyed having the X-Men in like the Marvel vs. Capcom series or the Marvel's Ultimate, was it Marvel's Ultimate Adventures, Ultimate Alliance, Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. I enjoyed having them there for that, but it wasn't like a draw for me. It wasn't like, oh, I need to get this game because the X Men are in it. I didn't really fall into the hype train of that. I saw the movies in the 2000s. I thought they were okay. They could have been better. They casted really well. Some of the storylines just didn't hit for me. So for me to hear that, hey, they're going back and they're covering a 90s show and they're going to continue to make it animated in the same style, in the same form and fashion, I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess I can't imagine this would be all that great or all that exciting or all this mind blowing. And then the series turned out to be what it was, and it was incredible, start to finish. I enjoyed and loved just about every second we had of it. I think episode 4 was the only one where I was like, yeah, this is just okay, because that was just a filler episode. Didn't really provide a lot in the grand context and grand scheme of things. It proved that Jubilee could tap into her potential and become stronger than what we anticipated her being. But then again, that's exactly what showed up later on when she was fighting Bastion, and she was the one that just absolutely took off that man's face for all intents and purposes and was able to kind of impose her will and her judgment as she saw fit on Bastion at that moment in time. And it was definitely something to see, something to definitely speculate on. It was a fantastic showing for each and every one of our heroes and what regards that they were able to collectively come together for. Do I think certain characters could have shined a bit more? Yeah. But I mean, you can say that about any show, series, film, whatever you want to call it. Each and every time you go into a fandom, there's always going to be people who believe such and such character deserve more shine. Like, say, if you were a Yu-Gi-Oh fan and you're like, you know what, I thought Joey really deserved more shine in the Ori Calcos arc. I thought he was going to be more of a prominent figure. It's like, I think that was arc was probably the best for him, but then they followed that up with an arc where he was basically essentially useless and he finished top 8, even though he's always been shown to be one of the better duelists for all of Yu-Gi-Oh, albeit the fact his entire strategy is luck based. But hey, it's just one of those things. And then it's like with X-Men, it's like people thought Storm or Aurora was going to do more. I think she showed out really early in the season, and I think she was showing her personal development, the development of her heart, her character and integrity, which she had tons of, loads of. She was already someone who was had more class and more form and more function than just about most members of that X-Men team, because sometimes people will fold easily under pressure. Looking at you, Scott, or Wolverine. Jean's got a weak type. Well, Jean's type is weak men. Anyway, just kind of realized that. But moving back on, like Aurora was someone who was willing to take the ultimate sacrifice for Magneto, who was someone that was basically their sworn enemy for forever. And it was very telling and very compelling for her to go through that. Then she goes through her deepest, darkest, and worst fears, only for her to be able to pull out through to the other side and see how much stronger she was collectively. And she found love in the process with Forge, and she was able to continue to grow, evolve, and adapt that way. And now she's, you know, at this pinnacle where you think, because we've had so much focus on her, that in the finale she's supposed to do more. Let's just be blunt here. Aurora didn't have the best matchup against Bastion. Let's just call that what that is. She's an Omega level mutant. She is an absolute certified and genuine BA in any and all regards. However, Bastion is literally built as a tech genius. You would think competently, anyway, that he would be someone that would not only prepare for lightning and prepare for the storm for an Omega level mutant, because to eliminate all mutants, you would definitely have to go through her as, you know, if I'm an evil genius planning to take out the X-Men, my first and foremost thought is to plan to take out the Omegas first, or at least pit them against each other the way Bastion did, so they would ultimately have to battle, become weaker. I kind of come in, sweep on through, and then I'm able to get towards the alpha levels and so on and so forth. Because once you kind of eliminated that top tier, then it's kind of easy pickings from there. So ultimately, Aurora just ended up in that terrible, terrible matchup. I just think that with any other villain, she would have been able to absolutely eradicate them, and it wouldn't have necessarily given us the team level or the teamwork exhibited, the chemistry shown throughout the team, that they were able to collectively come together at the end, albeit all of their differences, their I'm not going to say flaws, but their personal growth that each character had to go into and had to overcome as things were going together. Because ultimately, it's not easy to have a collage of characters and write every character well. It is very hard, I've seen in most animes and most shows, to have a group project where all characters of the group contributed something towards that group. And for me, I would equate that to the Lord of the Rings. It was ultimately a group project from each and every member. The only character that you can ultimately say that didn't serve the ultimate purpose that you would think towards getting the mission complete or done in any form or fashion would ultimately have been Boromir. But you would also be wrong in that regard, because Boromir was necessary for showing Aragorn's growth. Aragorn was petrified with all things that were even associated with Gondor. Anything that had to do with his birth, anything that had to do with his lineage, anything that had to do with his family, it was crippling for him. And then for him to have to not only run and hang out with someone who was of the, I want to say, the second royal family in all of Gondor, and be that close to them, with someone who had been that level of genuine disinterest in him and how he was acting and how he was behaving and how he was going about things, really forced him to look inward and trying to find himself for who he is. And he had to have that moment of self reflection to learn and to grow. And then Boromir's sacrifice by buying time so that they could figure out what was going on with Merry and Pippin as opposed to Frodo being taken off was a huge, huge save. Because, like, you imagine Frodo was the one that they ended up taking, and then they had to go chase Frodo down. And you just have to hope that the Rohirrim were still there at the same time, and that Frodo would have had the same wherewithal that Merry and Pippin did to run and escape in to the woods, and it still had the wherewithal to survive that 1v1 versus that orc. It changes the entirety of the story and how things would have played out. Would he have been ultimately successful? I mean, one could wager that he would just put on the ring, disappear, and that would be that. But then you still have to deal with the fact that he is so much closer to where the Nazgul base of operations is, and that they would be more keen on getting back at him after everything that transpired with the Anduin. It'd be a telling time, so to speak. So it's hard to put a good collage group of characters together, like the way the X-Men 97 did such an astute job. And I think in the way that the Demon Slayer Corps has done such a great job of showing each and every Hashira having a pivotal purpose. They are able to either help our main character grow, they force him to evolve, they teach him a new trick, or they just kind of show him what level of their perseverance, their ability to overcome, their tenacity in getting things done. And sometimes even just teaching Tanjiro, like, hey, I know you want to save everybody. I know you want everybody to be your best friend. I know you don't really enjoy killing. But it's ultimate for our society that you need to do this. You need to get this done. This needs to be finished. This needs to culminate in us taking out the heads of these demons who, for all intents and purposes, some of these demons are literal victims of Muzan. Their whole mindset, their whole ideology has been twisted or conformed or forced into being what this is through either trickery or bribery or the promise of longevity, promise of beauty, whatever the case may be. You see that there have been some demons in their ranks, the upper demons, I would say especially, that were regular people who have been just convoluted beyond all reason. And then there were other ones where you were like, yep, this character is completely irredeemable. You had the demon who was popping in out of the pot, who was a liar, a murderer, a cheat, a thief, and he just blamed everybody and everything else for the problems around him, as opposed to being like, hey, you know, I lied, I cheated, I stealed, I killed, I maimed, I hurt people, I took advantage of people. It was never ultimately that he was the one who got things done. So some of these demons fully redeemable. Some of these other demons not so much. There's a lot to be taken into, and this next episode is supposed to focus in on Gyu. So we're going to finally be able to see, for those who are Gyu fanboys, where we're headed, where we're going, what we're going to talk about, what we're going to speculate on. And because he was straight up against everyone else's plan. People came together cumulatively and collectively to be like, yep, we're going to go in and enforce the master's wishes. We're going to get this done. And then Gyu was like, I don't need this. I don't want this. I don't care for this. Now we're going to kind of be able to take a look in and figure out why Gyu is as against the grain as he's always been. He's been someone who's pushed against the standards of what demon slaying would be. Most demon slayers, when they would have ran into Tanjiro and his sister Nezuko, and seeing her as a demon would have been just, that's it, just straight clean cut, game over, game set match. This show never happens. They never get that growth to where you can force Tanjiro to become even stronger. Nezuko isn't able to overcome the light. All this stuff that has happened because of his patience would not have happened. But because Gyu is who Gyu is, we're going to kind of get to see how he's able to get things done and how he's able to push things collectively, so to speak, to that new height and to that new standard by which he upholds himself at all times whenever he's capable of doing so. And it's been a heck of a time to see the fandom really wrap themselves around Gyu and support them the way they have, even though at times his stubbornness is, it comes off as Vegeta-esque, where it's very rude and it's very against what everyone's doing. Is like, I understand what you people are doing, but I'm doing this. You can say what you want, you can act how you want, you can talk at me how you will, but excuse me, that he's not going to bend, break, or move for anybody or for anything other than his own mindset or ideology and something that he truly, believes in some manner, shape, or form. So it's definitely interesting to see where this episode's going to go, whether it's going to be a heartfelt story, whether it's going to be more of a action dramatic. There's a lot to break into. Just like this guy broke on into a once secured room. How are we doing, Hashira trainee?
Not bad. Just been listening to everything you're talking about, and I was like, yeah, I just want to see what his whole mindset is. So I'm just curious to see how they're gonna, explain everything.
Yeah, because I mean, Gyu is, like you said, he's your son's favorite character. He's your son's favorite Hashira. Now we're gonna kind of get to see why that is. Because I mean, Gyu was able to save Nezuko and Tanjiro. He vouched for them and he let them live at a time and place where you imagine the Hashira directly above you in this panel block we have. No, Nezuko would have been snuffed out in a minute. There would have been no talk. There would have been no thought behind it. There's been just a resheathing of the sword, and it just keeps walking. This anime never happens.
I
Right
mean,
place, right time.
Saname was ready to. I mean, he was taking stabs at her.
Isaname has definitely been someone who's do, don't think. And a lot of people would also mistake that for simplicity, but also you still have to have a lot of intelligence and a lot of thought and be able to do these actions succinctly and as quickly as he comes up with his plans. And people, I think, are going to really get to know and enjoy Sanami in many, many different regards. Because a lot of people thought Moichiro was kind of lame, and then as the last season progressed, is like, yo, this kid is doing a thing. He was the youngest Hashira ever, and that's ever. That's including all the prodigies and everyone else who has been around forever in the Demon Slayer core rank and position filing. So it's been wild to see. You have any speculations, any thoughts?
No speculations, no thoughts at the moment. I just want to see how this training is going to go. I mean, well, all right. Do we think any of them are going to become Hashira at any point in time in the future? Like, is this something that's set up for a possible, you know, spinoff where we can keep going with them and they can do their thing, or is this Hashira training just meant to be the hey, get you on the level of the Hashira so you can go fight? Freaking, are we going to get any replacements to any Hashira at any point in time? Like, that's the kind of the overarching thing that I'm thinking about. But I'm just more or less trying to focus on what's happening right now, what the training is going to entail, where Giyu's heads at, and where's the rest of the Hashira's heads at as far as getting their marks to activate. So,
Because pushing themselves above and beyond, they're trying to, for all intents and purposes, they're trying to go plus ultra. They're trying to show everybody, how strong they really are by tapping into all that latent potential that the master saw in them when they were chosen to, do all these crazy stunts, tasks, and abilities that they've, been able to master, so to speak, over all these years. And I'm sure they're just trying to get Tanjiro and Inosuke and even Zenitsu into a more prominent state to where they will be less of a burden. Just like Asanomi was like, yeah, you just need to leave to all the other people that were along with him. It's like, you guys are more of a burden than what's going on. I'm not able to free move. I'm not able to free think. I'm not able to jump around and act the way I would like to because I'm babysitting, so to speak. Sonomy was kind of hamstrung at what was going on and wasn't able to execute the way Sonomy would have liked to. So having three people like that between Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro being able to drag behind would be an issue. Tanjiro, I don't think will necessarily drag behind as much because we've seen him unlock his, marking and been able to push himself to execute demons even on his own. He's been able to get that job done. He's no slouch. He's got a lot of heart and he's got a lot of character and a lot of resolve that most characters will never be able to fathom within an anime. He's almost as stubborn as Inosuke, but it just comes to entirely different things. It's like Inosuke is just stubborn because Inosuke is Inosuke. Tanjiro is stubborn because he believes in saving everybody and doing the right thing and being that bigger person and trying to. He's like Deku in a lot of regards. He just wants to be good for the sake of being good and save the people he cares about. And if he has to run through you and give you a speech on friendship along the way, he's definitely going to. Because he definitely doesn't enjoy his job, I can tell you that much. Like all these elimination of demons, even though it's vital and necessary, he doesn't really seem to be enjoying it as much as, like Sodomy would get a kick out of, eliminating demons, like unequivocally. It's like I don't think Rengoku would have enjoyed it. Tengen, I think, didn't even enjoy it. I think he was just happy that he was able to be flashy because, Tengen. So it's definitely been a telling time in the Demon Slayer core, how things are slowly progressing and how things are getting put into place. I've been very happy with our anime slate of weekends. I'll say, as anime fans, we're eating good Saturday through Sunday with all three amazing shows, and we're about, I want to say, a little over 2 weeks out on the return of Star Wars: The Acolyte. So I'll be very interested when that comes back on for more middle of the week coverage. It'll be really, really good to see. I've got tons of great ideas for our geek variants to share in the meantime throughout the week. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, all that good stuff. We'll fill you in on the details as they emerge. Um, how was your Kaiju number 8? How'd you feel about that episode?
Kaiju number 8 was solid. I got to see what I've been trying to see. So one, of course, got to see the captain in action again, but she's got some wildly just insane guns to play with, and the one that she used was absolutely fantastic. And seeing a little bit of what Hoshina, his name is,
You're talking about the vice captain?
yeah, seeing him, quick little tease of what he can do. I was like, yo, yeah, I need him to get pushed to his limit because I want to see what he can really do. Like that was just a taste, and he barely did anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, the vice captain is definitely interesting. I feel like your a personal opinion on him should have changed definitely from what we had last week. Because last week you were speculating that he was in on something. He was going to try and out our boy, and he was going to make things just an absolute hell for Kaiju number 8. But now it would seem he's more interested in pushing Kafka to get to where he believes he could be.
I mean, I don't think my opinion has necessarily changed. Um, he's got an ulterior motive, and so at that freaking from the rest of the team, so to speak. And again, he's pushing Kafka, but what is the reason why he's pushing Kafka? Like that's what, like, does he just want to see his true potential? Does he want to see what's going on? Is he does he know that there's could be possibly something kaiju related and so like that? Like he knows something's up. I don't know how his reaction will be to once he knows exactly what's going on, but he's being cautious, and that's one of the reasons why he's so focused on Kafka. Like he showed up just to be like, "Yo, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about that" in the library, and then he showed up again on the battlefield, just like, "What's going on? Like, what are you doing? Blah blah blah." Quick showcase of moves, like, so something is still going on there. So, no, my opinion hasn't fully changed. I'm just still watching him, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you up to?
I feel like you're reading a lot into it, but at the same time, I feel like it's also the way that they're portraying it for so many people. Because the way it reads versus the way it's been shown, there are some subtle differences, but I'll let those be explored by the show itself. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I want things to be fleshed out the way the writers and the show creators intended it to be. And it could be a little bit of misdirect. It could be a direct line of things, like directly down the pipe of what to expect. But at the same time, I really do like Captain Hoshino. I think he's someone that is just looking for a bright light in their core because they have been. It's a depressing job. All you
Mm-hmm.
do is fight big monsters, and that's what you do day in, day out. You lose tons of members of your core, you lose tons of friends, you lose tons of family members. Basically, Japan's just going through it in their defense corps. So to be able to have someone that can make you laugh, that can make you smile, make you feel a little bit better, I don't think you could really put in a dollar equivalent on that. Because like especially if you're someone who's seen combat or at least been part of a military group or a corps or like a team where you're going through an absolute struggle together or whatever the case may be, having those people around that can make those moments lighter and that can make people smile and make people laugh. I feel like most people anyway, and I could be speaking out my other end right now, but I feel like a lot of people would put dollar to dime and be like those people are exceptionally valuable to what you're trying to get done because people, well, sometimes when you take things too seriously and look at things too grimly, ultimately you can either psych yourself out or end up hurting people because you're just unable to see the bright light or the end of the tunnel or whatever the case may be when it comes to getting all of those tasks done that you need to get done as a team, as a core, or as like just a defense force in this case. And I think he's an excellent sounding board for the captain herself because, as we've seen, she really has no ability to lighten things up. What's up, Akira-chan? How we doing? Welcome on in. Will we have Demon Slayer here within the next 5 minutes? Right now, we're just talking a little bit about Kaiju number 8. Talking about one of those animes we have covered on the YouTube channel that my boy Will has been doing an amazing job on. Thank you so much for making that possible so I can do those My Hero streams with everybody on that early Saturday morning slate. But next week, you'll be seeing me for the early morning slate and for Kaiju number 8 because our boy Will, if you want to go see him at MomoCon. Shameless plug, by all means. How is that going, Will? Are you excited for everything going on next week?
Yeah, we trying to get in. I got some training and stuff I got to do later today for some new guys coming in. But yeah, I mean it's next week. You know, where that was. I don't know. Take it's like everything was like okay, it's next week, it's next week, so like that, and it's like we had to do training stuff today and then tomorrow because Sunday is still Sunday is not the beginning of the week for me because I still got so much to do. So tomorrow technically is the week of MomoCon. This is where everything kind of ramps up. So excited to see a lot of stuff. Actually, the voice actor for Tanjiro, Zach Aguilar, is supposed to be there at MomoCon. So hopefully I'll get some one-on-one time with him just to have a quick chat, maybe with that. Don't know. We'll see. He may be busy. He's gonna be trying to talk to all the fans and sign autographs and take pictures and all that good stuff. So just trying to see what I can kind of get into with MomoCon, see all the different cosplays because I want to see everybody's cosplays. I want to see how much stuff I can notice from the different animes I've been watching. Like the first year I went when Chainsaw Man first dropped, I saw a lot of Chainsaw Man, cosplays, and they were great. Like it was awesome. So with this, I'm trying to see if I'm going to see any, Kaiju number 8, cosplays. I'm going to see any Hell's Paradise. Are some of the ones I'm looking for.
Solo leveling will probably be
Solo
prominent in some
leveling.
regards.
Yeah, so I want to see some of the new anime cosplays because I still want to see all the old ones. I still want to see the Dragon Ball because the voice actor for the Japanese VA for Yamcha will actually be there as well. He's flown in, so I want to see all the classic. We're gonna see a lot of Naruto, a lot
the
of
Moons of Naruto, the
yep,
Dragon Ball
all
Z,
that's
the
gonna be there.
Bleach, the One Piece characters from early on. Like I love seeing people's creativity and the level that they're able to execute it out on any form or fashion. I'm just always excited to see what people do creatively, which ultimately is like I think some people like seeing what YouTubers can do creatively. Some are more creative than others, so to speak, because I feel like we're still coming into our own as a channel. But it's always nice seeing just what all the communities are able to do when you kind of like gather them together at these events like MomoCon or like DragonCon or Comic Con, whatever the case may be. You just take this amazing group of people and be like, boom, let your creativity run wild, see what you can come up with. And I want to definitely, at least at some point in time, once Geek Variants is more established, for us to go and to be like able to go see these people, go talk with these people, be like, hey, can I get a photo of this? I want to ask you a couple of questions about your favorite characters. I think that would be something that'd be really cool moving on down the line. I think with you guys' support, we could definitely get there at some moment in time. But like at this moment in time, I hope you definitely enjoy being able to be a part of one of the greatest cons out there, especially in the Atlanta area. I'm not trying to downplay it in any way, shape, or form, but definitely one of the best cons out there. What I've heard. I haven't actually officially been to a con, so that's something that's going to be high on my to-do list at some moment in time and kind of like get to know like either the geek variants or just all the other geeks that make all the communities great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I say definitely. I'm looking to travel and visit some more cons and stuff like that. So we have MomoCon here and Dragon Con. So those are the two biggest cons we have here in Atlanta. And there's a few other things that go on. So yeah, eventually I want people to kind of visit everything and travel further out as they get the chance.
Oh yeah. And then as we are getting the chance, we are just sitting here now waiting for the Demon Slayer premiere. I'm gonna pull up Hulu as well, just so we have a side by side, see which one drops first, so I can point all fans, excuse me, in the right direction. I don't know which one is going to have. I don't know why I typed in Dragon. I think I saw Dragon Con on the brain as opposed to Demon Slayer. That's what it says. Village Arc. I want Demon Slayer. Yaiba. We are looking for the awesome season, which doesn't look like it's going to be there. So it'll be on Crunchyroll. Waiting for the episode to premiere. It's supposed to premiere 10:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for those of you East Coasters. So, going to have a lot of good stuff to talk about, a lot of good things to see here shortly once the episode does decide to drop. But as we've seen with Crunchyroll, it'll drop when they want it to drop. It's not always necessarily at the exact time that they say it drops. So we're definitely going to be in for an interesting show here today. I have some very excited expectations for learning about Giyu. And the episode has officially dropped. Water Hashira Giyu Tomioka's plan on Crunchyroll. So be sure to go ahead and check that out, guys. And let's get this live watch started. Watch along with us on your own streaming platform, and we will be with you for each and every part of the episode.
Hmm.
This guy is wild.
I think that's one thing that I don't like about some shows that do this is like you show me the end of an episode and the beginning of the next episode. Kind of
But
like,
yeah, like 30 seconds of new dialogue. But that'd also be terrifying if you're a demon. Be like, hey, we're summoning you directly into the Hashira headquarters. Figure it out. Only comment. It's different this time. Oh wow. This flashback. Hmm. All right.
okay.
Good for you, girl. Good for you. Doesn't Giyu kind of remind you of Moichiro in a way?
A bit.
Was this opening in the last episode, or is this all new?
Not the way this one is going. I don't think freaking because it started off differently. I'd be loving their openings though.
EU Tomioka's pain.
All right. He does make the best choice to go talk to Giyu.
Yep, that's the right person for this job. Because Giyu is definitely one of one. Immediately chastised. You're not training, are you? I will beat you with this broom. The only thing that's against Tanjiro is the fact he's so young. He has to like figure out a way to talk to someone his senior and be like, "Hey, let's have this conversation." Unless he's smart enough to ask for help. Food always helps.
Food is always great.
Especially if it's some traditional Japanese foods. I'm in. Say less. Like there's a ramen place in Japan at some point when we're going to be going. I'm taking you there. It'll be my treat. That ramen was some of the best ramen I've ever had in my entire life, and I still fantasize about it to this day. Unashamed.
Yeah,
How long is this kid going to yell at me?
Till you answer.
He's like, I'm coming in. He's like, really? That's said, I believe. The one eye opening of a parent who's like, I know I told you you're not supposed to be in here. Too close. Too close.
He's supposed to take over for him as the water husher? Is that what I'm talking about?
Maybe he wanted to retire.
Wait, you're the water husher.
He's got plans. You'll see.
All right, now I'm confused.
You should be. Keep going, Tanjiro. I'd been like, hey, the master sent me to talk to you. I don't know why, but he sent me. He was straight up playing hard to get. Like, no, let me be.
Yeah, I'm gonna limp after you this entire time.
I'm gonna limp after you and beat you with this cane of friendship. I will say this show does goofy moments really, really well for how serious it is at other times.
He caught him in the bathtub. Like, hey, come on, outside the bathroom. Like, you've been waiting out here while I take a poop. Like, really?
And then Christ, go. Yeah, maybe. It's Sandro. He's not giving up. He stopped stalking me. That's what you're feeling bad about right now? Sabito. Beauty. That kind of slipped out. Not classy at all. My bad, guys. Parkour.
Sabito was the truth.
I feel like you used the word was correctly. Oh, he's sleeping. I mean, you're still alive, dude. I mean, like, at a certain point, you got to be like, figure it out. Spend your entire mindset dwelling in the past, you'll die in the past.
I think that's kind of the only reason why Giyu carries on is because of what Sabito did for him.
Carrying on because of guilt and then carrying on because of purpose are two different things, though.
I mean, true. I never specified which one. I just say he carried on.
Hey, there's your boy. There's your boy. But boy, was he a weirdo. But he would have been like a great friend to have. Like out of all the Hashira, Rengoku is easily the friendliest.
It's my boy.
Like, you're gonna have to limp after him, Tanjiro. Go get him. No, he's not gonna stop. Can't stop once. Hit him with the truth. Sabito's got that pimp hand. It makes you wonder what demon Sabito ran into that ended him.
Makes you wonder
Which demon Sabito ran into that
that
ended
killed
him?
him.
Yeah.
That one that Tanjiro fought.
Oh
That
yeah, that was
that
so
big one.
long ago though.
Yeah.
God, I was just a young lad back then, so full of hope. My knees didn't hurt as much. Tanjiro. Hmm. No. Why? Oh, it worked.
Hmm.
What's up, June Jays?
Yeah,
Welcome in. Welcome in.
she got a whole project she working on.
Hopefully, you're enjoying the anime as much as we are, June Jays. Got one eye just straight up twitching.
Oh yeah, it's her birthday. Uh, Ka- Kano, Kano. I can't say her name. Her with her protege.
And she's just trying to be out here being all sweet and stuff.
Yeah. Canal.
And now,
Yes, Tanjiro helped her with that.
Sandro out here saving everybody accidentally.
Oh, so she finna have a mission. We finna see her in action.
She's been doing all this research not for idle reasons because she's gonna whoop some butt. Another solid episode from Demon Slayer. I'm kind of digging the ending music though right now. Was it the same as last week, or was I just not paying attention?
Say it again.
The ending music, was it here last week? The same one?
I don't recall because I have the original when I went to go see it in theaters burned into my head,
Mm.
but I never really leaned into the theme songs until usually like the second or third episode anyway. Because I never skip them. I always just kind of watch them and see.
What an episode! Fantastic. So I'll drop this off here. Episode recap. We are now in the throes of it. We'll have a full episode recap video separately, but we'll talk a little bit now about some of the stuff we'll probably talk about in the next one. So if you're not finished, I would skedaddle because spoilers are coming your way. Will, your thoughts?
It was interesting to get the backstory of Giyu. I always love when they're able to condense the backstory in a way that makes the references make sense and it ties up several kind of loose ends. So we already knew about Sabito. We knew about his training and how he trained Tanjiro. We knew what demon had took him out, but now seeing the circumstances in which why he was taken out, it made it so that he wasn't, because when I first saw it, I was like, okay, he failed. He didn't survive, and he's trying to impart wisdom upon Tanjiro, like don't make the same mistakes I did, type stuff, or here's how you do this so that you can get better, or something to that effect. And it turns out it wasn't the case at all. He failed. Like he did so much saving people, so he wasn't a failure during the test. He didn't just die during final selection, so that he died saving several people, including the current non-water Hashira. Freaking, I mean, So that's fantastic in itself. Understanding Giyu and his backstory, we already know he wears the cloak, you know, of his, part of his friends, but the other half of it is his sisters.
Mm.
So putting all that stuff together is like, yeah, I mean, I like the way that this was done. And granted, this was a filler episode. It made sense because it needed to happen because we need to know what was going on with Giyu, why he was so distant from the rest of the Hashira.
Oh yeah, and yeah, Paul, we are definitely talking about Giyu. It was definitely interesting to see how this was done because Giyu is definitely a very, very passionate, grouped favorite Hashira. He's definitely got his own little sub fan base within the Demon Slayer core fans overall. So seeing how he's been burdened by the fact that he failed his sister, he failed his friend, he didn't really pass the test. He's just been sitting here just going on and moving on and continuing on because of the fact that he couldn't forgive himself for what transpired. He didn't necessarily move on because in his heart he moved on. He moved on just because his body was physically going to, and it was like, regardless if you want to age or not, like things continue to be happening, around you and how things continue to be going. So it's like Giyu is someone who's a fantastic character in the fact that now he's able to be with Tanjiro and be around someone who's able to kind of lighten things up. Because I mean, he was willing to come back around anyway, just because.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got activities he can do with Tanjiro. They can work on leveling up together, unlocking their, getting Giyu to get his Hashira mark because we've already seen Giyu in action. Dude's strong.
Very.
But seeing him go from good to great is what could, help change the tide of things because as we've seen with the castle, it's not going to be easy by any means. You had two Hashira who literally were about to touch foot in the castle, hit one chord, boom, castle's gone. And you're just like, what in the hell is going on here? Why is this happening? Giyu deserves better. What makes you lean that way? You mean like he deserves better, like he deserves to be happy? Because I would 100% agree with that. Because, I mean, holding on to the past in any way, shape, manner, form, or regard, holding on to something that's hurting you isn't always necessarily for the better. It's like being motivated by your past to continue to get better because he wants to embody what Sabito did. That's going to be something that could definitely perform. He has a lot, and I mean a lot of potential in him, but doesn't see it in him because of his past. I mean, Will, your thoughts? I kind of agree with it.
I mean, yeah, he does have a lot of potential. Everything that he has done so far and how strong he has shown us to be is fantastic. And the fact that he's been this strong with all this that he's been hanging on to, I think once he finally lets this go, which it seems like we're in the process of that, I think he's naturally going to get stronger because again, it's kind of like his chains are off. The chains that have been holding him, something he's been dealing with that. Again, all this stuff goes away. He's going to feel better. He's going to be able to focus more. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a moment where Sabito probably kind of talks to him in spirit and something clicks, his Hashira mark kicks in, and then he starts going ham. Like he's one of the few that I mean, I think he may be with this being said and how strong I seem him to be, it's possible that he could definitely be one of the stronger Hashira. Like he could definitely be up the ranks because again, he's already sitting up there when they sit there in rank and so they're sitting in order. So he's already strong. I wouldn't put it past him. Again, I haven't seen Guillaume, is that his name? The Stone.
Yeah,
I have not seen him in action yet.
Gonna be nuts.
I haven't seen him in action yet. But just based off of where Giyu stands and how strong I've seen Giyu be, there's a chance he could be equivalent freaking to the Stone Hashira. Again, it's just my assumption because of how much he has going for him. He has a lot more writing on this, especially with, you know, he literally wears his heart on his sleeve, literally on two different sleeves. He's wearing it, so I think that's going to prove to be the turning point for him in this battle. Like he is going to come out on top in a lot of different ways.
Because I think the easiest way of speculating on Gyu and how he can continue to grow, evolve, and adapt is Gyu has basically been a bird in a cage. He's able to fly, he's able to soar, he's able to do all these amazing things. But because he believes he's in this cage, he can't ever fully show and fully shine. He can't take flight, so to speak. He can't reach those heights he was never able to reach before. So, to be honest, some people ship Shinobu with Tamioka because she doesn't bully him about not having a sister anymore. I mean, there's a lot of interesting ships I've seen also, but I'll just finish my point with Gyu here. Gyu was he's someone who's been that bird in a cage because of his past. He lost his sister and he lost his basically brother. They were close. They were very very much someone they saw a lot of each other in. It was like losing your absolute best friend in this world, and then because his best friend passed because it was saving him, he felt guilty about it and this residual need to just, continue on as opposed to because there's a huge difference between living on and yeah, Giyu ships are mind blowing. Giyu fans are up there. They have ship things that I wouldn't ever possibly consider, but happens to the best of us. So having Giyu being able to now take off his chains, get out that cage, be able to fly. The episode Victoria is on Crunchyroll. Episode is on Crunchyroll, up and active. Go ahead, check it out. Full episode is up, so go ahead and enjoy that on over there. But yeah, now with these chains off, Giyu is going to be able to really soar to prominent heights. Guillaume is one of one. I'm definitely going to just leave it at that. Watch it online, Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is the app for you. If you're talking about services that you don't have to pay for, I have no idea about any of those. Website besides Crunchyroll, I don't know even know if Hulu has it. I think Crunchyroll is the one of one.
I think it's exclusive to Crunchyroll. I could be wrong. As far as within the U.S.
Yeah, because as far as the United States is concerned, we are just Crunchyroll and Crunchyroll exclusive. As far as free sites, I don't know any of those. Don't know anything I could do to help you in that direction, but like Giyu is definitely going to be significantly stronger now that he is up with able to push himself forward. And it looks like Paul is able to answer your question, Victoria, so might be able to point you in that direction. I don't know, is Nine Anime exclusive to other countries, or is that like a streaming site, whatever that is? Because like I just watch Crunchyroll because I just I'm one of those people like I like to buy my anime all in one place, keep it one spot, and then I can watch thousands of animes, learn about all that stuff that way. But Giyu is going to push himself stronger. He's going to push himself forward. He's going to push himself to be better. And having people like Tandro who can see the light in him, even when he can't at times, I think that's going to definitely propel him and make him continue to go forward in life, which is going to be huge for him because he's a very prominent character in the next couple of moments and couple of arcs. So seeing Giyu take that next step will be coming out even better. So there's a lot of good stuff to break down. There's a lot of good stuff to get into. I've loved this series thus far. I kind of fell into it because you suggested this one. This was one of the animes you let me know about. So I thank you for that. Always nice when friends can point you in directions of animes other people can cover. So like if you guys have ones in the chat you want us to cover, let us know. Open for suggestions. How do you feel? Any other thoughts about this episode, Will? Something prominent you wanted to discuss?
Look, man. First, I need you to go ahead and take on the role of Water Hashira officially. I need him to go ahead and sign up for that and be that because he is definitely proven himself thus far to be in that position. So go ahead and take that. Two, I need to get to this training. I need to see what's going on with this training. So at that. So next episode is supposed to be Tandro fully recovered from training. So fully recovered to get into training. So definitely want to see how that goes and what each person is going to have to offer. Because there's only 8 episodes in the season,
It's a
right?
very, very short arc.
I think that we're going to get some of that per episode. So with the remaining Hashira that are able to give training and stuff, I think we'll probably get freaking 1 to 2 per episode. So that as they kind of get into the training and then lead up to the final battle, so to speak, or assaulting the Infinity Castle, however they're going to do it.
Mhm.
I cannot tell if this is going to be, if like next season is going to be the last season or what. I
The
don't really
Infinity
like.
Castle, if they do it correctly, should probably be 2 seasons or one very long one. There's a lot to break down in it. I just know that when it does get animated, fans are going to be very, very happy.
And when you say long, do you mean like 12 episode long? Or you mean like 24 episode long?
I'm probably shooting closer to 20, especially if they're going to cover all of the action that happens. Because even just covering the action, not the dialogue that was going on, it's a meaty arc. It's there's a lot of good eating to be done um, overall as Demon Slayer fans. So you're going to be very happy to see what they do, what they get done here, all the different speculation that can be accomplished in it, and then like we're obviously going to have it all covered. So if you want an easy place, go ahead hit that subscribe button to make it really easy to keep along with us. Corner under Will or the red box below, or follow if you're on Twitch as well. But like it's going to be a great arc. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you, Paul. Yeah, 20 to 24 should be that reasonable ballpark. There's no way it wouldn't be like within that realm of length of time. So you're gonna be eating good, Will.
I will also accept 12 1 hour long episodes. Just
That
saying.
is a huge ask, but at the same time, I'm not opposed to it.
I just said I will accept it if it's a thing. So that I don't know. I got some work to do because again, I want to start. I got the entire manga sitting right here that I have not read yet because I've been just enjoying watching it and being surprised by stuff that's going on. But it's like once I finish watching it, I got to go sit there and read all of that to see what the differences are and what was left out and what was added. So yeah,
Oh yeah, if they don't make the finale at least an hour long poll, I would be shocked. The finale needs to be at least an hour long because the amount of emotions that the fan base is going to go through the castle arc alone. It's like if you thought Jujutsu Kaisen hurt you emotionally with their second season, Demon Slayer's Infinity Castle arc is going to chew you up and spit you out sideways.
Mugen Train hurt me. Okay, I was hurt.
Mugen Train is a great movie though. I'm not
I
going to
was
talk
hurt.
ill of it, but like, yo, I wasn't ready for Rengoku passing either.
No,
I
no.
thought Rengoku was always going to be my favorite, and then I read all the anime and was like, you know what, Tengen, my boy, Tengen is my Hashira. That's a dude I can absolutely follow and like. Look at that beautiful sword.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I went and got this one so that, and I have all of them. I have Rengoku sword. I have Zenitsu sword. I have got my son Giyu sword so that. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
I gotta go
like
collect.
there's so much good stuff. Like Rengoku fought so hard and was like, I'm sure you're already counting down the days till Akaza is eliminated from the plane of their human existence because of what he did to Rengoku as quickly as he did it to him.
Yeah, I see. Freaking. Um, yeah, I didn't really like the way. I liked the way he went out, but I didn't like the way he went out. Freaking.
No,
Yeah.
no one really liked the way he went out. And yeah, Tengen retired. Let's just not come in with the Tengen disrespect poll. It's like he retired. He had 3 wives to go satisfy, and he has one hand and one eye. He had things to do. And it's like, and he still came back when summoned to help train the next core, and he's taking it very, very seriously. It's like if he was like haphazardly doing this, I would be upset with Tengen and be like, "What are you doing? That's not flashy. That's not who you are." But he's out here, almost, uh, you said it, not me, boy. You said it, not me. I'm not co-signing, but I'm not disagreeing
Yeah,
either. I mean,
it's still taking place, but yeah, I think yeah, Tengen definitely what's up. The fact that he did come back for this is definitely a plus. Giyu's back on board, so now we got everybody kind of working on the same page. It's like this should be some really good training, and we should see some really good fights here soon. Like the animation's got to be insane, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have another movie or two drop at some point. So I think the next
Don't
time,
get too hopeful because like, they might just do the right thing. I think honestly, the final battle it should be a movie, but I think it should also be on streaming services as well. I'm one of those people who's like, I think this one is just perfect enough for the fan base to do both. But
well, here's
that's
what I
not how
think.
it'll work.
Here's what I think they'll do. So that I think that what they'll do is they'll start the next season like they do where they show the last and first episode in a movie, and have the whole setup, and you go and watch it. And after you watch the entire thing, it's just like this: the entire season is it how it is. But then what they'll probably end up doing is, I guess, probably releasing a cut of the final battle with that freaking, and it's gonna be ridiculous. It'll be freaking like fully uncut. Like it's gonna be uncut as far as what's shown, but whatever was left on the editing room floor, so with that, they need to show everything because they're gonna have to trim it down. Whatever they make, whatever they animate, so with that, there's gonna be so much more to it, and they trim it down to put it into episodes. Like they need to get us everything. I want all of it.
Because I was gonna say,
I don't care how long it is.
the author has already stated that there's stuff that's happened post when everything is like wrapped up, when everything is concluded, whatever that may be. So that would be something they could potentially introduce to all of us at the very end. So
I heard about that, and I've avoided it like the plague.
you should
With
continue to
that,
do so. That's why I'm
um,
just gonna leave it at my comment as what it was.
because my son freaking, because I said there's stuff floating around so with that, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I know it because he's read stuff. He's like, I know what it is and so with that as far as what it refers to, and he says the only words you need to know if you see anything that involves time skip, avoid it because it's just showing aftermath of whatever. So it's like just avoid time skip altogether. I was like, all right, good to go.
Oh
So
yeah, basically just avoid all those words. Like basically right now with there's two other prominent animes that have released chapters this week that blew the internet to high hell. I would avoid those two like the plague. I'm not even gonna allude to what they are because if you know, you know. If you don't know,
what's
you
the
should
anime?
continue to stay that way. But the
What's
animes
the
that blew everything out of the water.
yeah the manga's anime whatever it was.
JJK dropped a new chapter.
I heard about that one. Didn't see what it was, but I heard about that, and then
Yeah, the I can't say nothing because you want to watch it on your own. But like,
yeah, I'm gonna watch
you're
it.
the
So
biggest
JJK
teaser in
is
the history
one.
of teasers. So it's like there.
What was the other one?
Boruto actually.
Boruto. Okay, so JJK and Boruto. All right.
Because Boruto is actually the number one selling anime, like well manga right now out there.
I mean,
Boruto beat out One Piece and it beat out JJK. They're both all three are fighting for the top. It's been a great time for a manga
okay.
reader to enjoy.
So I have not watched One Piece or Naruto at
You haven't
all.
watched Naruto?
No, I have not. I have
We're
not watched.
covering that at some point on the show.
No, I'm going to
Need to
have.
be addressed.
My plan is to binge some of these.
There's 1,000 episodes. Good luck.
I know that's the point. Freaking. So I got basically a year plan. So at that, I've already done the mapping out. So at that, freaking roughly with 1,000 episodes, so that it'll take me about freaking a year to watch 1,000 episodes at about 7 episodes per day.
Which is a lot of couple hours of content. But yeah, try to finish Tokyo Ghoul. I actually have never started Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo
Tokyo
Ghoul
Ghoul.
and Full Metal Alchemist have not done either one.
Tokyo
They're on
Ghoul.
my list.
I'm waiting for
I
more
need,
Fire Force. I want more Fire Force, like Fire Force.
you mean because they announced season 2 of Fire Force 3 years ago and there's been nothing announced since?
I know I'm freaking hurting. I love fire. You know, I was a firefighter for so long, so anything involving that has always got my uh my opinion. Slime, yeah, freaking. I watch Slime.
And
Slime is
yep,
good.
Gabriella, fourth season. It's coming in strong. The fourth season has been a blast so far. Two episodes have been great. Like there, I'm also still waiting for Dragon Ball Super's next season, which I don't know if they're gonna do. I know where the manga is, and I know they're probably taking a break because of everything that has happened with the author. Rest in peace to the godfather of anime. Well, at least one of mine, anyway. I should say, because I can't speak for everyone. Wouldn't want to anyway. That there's so much good stuff coming around the corner It's like I really just Black Clover is okay. Black Clover is a little bit more than okay. It's like, and they've been releasing new chapters, so there's hope and speculation that it could be a new season dropping in fall alongside
Black
Hell's Paradise.
Black Clover, you got to get through the beginning. I think the first part, so like that, before it
The
gets
first 30 episodes.
better and so like that. So that's the struggle that I was having, was getting through the first couple episodes and just kind of going from there. I mean, he likes it because Vegeta's in it, so whatever.
We finished the episode, Psych. It's already up on Crunchyroll. We watched it with it, so appreciate you. We'll have a full episode recap here shortly. With all coverage, it just seems that people want to sit here talk about anime, so we're all do so. I don't have anything pressing to do, and I'm more than happy to spend time with the Geek variants. I was planning on streaming some Fallout later with you guys. Well, thanks, Gabby. Appreciate you. That's very nice. That's very kind of you. Appreciate it. Will, I guess it's your turn to start talking. I need to shut up now.
No, I mean, especially with just anime in general. Again, I've been trying to catch up on as many animes as possible. I want to go through the mainstream list, of course, of what everybody has been recommending, and from there, it literally needs to go on for the rest of the little hidden gems that have been popping up here and there. So,
There's definitely been a lot of good stuff. A lot of great things have been happening with all the animes. I mean, this season was fantastic so far for Demon Slayer. I'm very happy to see what we've got going on. You can keep yelling at it, Gabby. I'm just gonna ignore it. Just letting you know. It's kind of what we do here. So appreciate you and your feedback. But at the same time, what else do you want to talk about Demon Slayer before we get into our episode recap off the live?
TPN was crazy through the second season. Was expected to.
TPN.
What is TPN?
Now I get to be newly informed about an anime.
Oh yeah, man, free. I'm trying to learn about all this stuff because all this stuff just gets added to my list. So there's more stuff for me to watch.
The episode is up on Crunchyroll, Gabby. We never show it on here. We don't own the legal rights to do so. You want to go see the episode? Go to Crunchyroll.
The Promised Neverland.
Promised Neverland. Oh, yeah. I heard that's really, really freaking sad, though. I heard it's like depressing.
So I'm definitely gonna get into it. I definitely want to see. Sorry, Gabrielle.
It's really good.
Yeah, freaking. Again, a lot of people have had different recommendations and stuff on where to watch stuff, but again, a lot of Twitch ended a lot of watch parties and stuff, so you can't stream anything anymore for a lot of the watch parties without freaking getting in trouble.
Full legal consent from everybody else, so there's a lot of stuff in order to do that there. So it's definitely something that's we don't want to have happen to this channel for any number of reasons. The Promised Neverland was definitely up there as far as watching shows. It's like if I cried during Naruto, The Promised Neverland is just going to ruin me, and I'm just going to be in a comatose state for this.
Yeah, I still got stuff on my thing I need to go watch. Freaking Black Lagoon, Dr. Stone. I still need to go watch. Finish Vinland Saga. I can mark that on the list. Vinland Saga was really, really good.
I gotta watch that from start to finish. I haven't done anything as far as Vinland Saga is concerned.
I got. Bye. Have fun. Hope you get to watch it soon. As far as other things, Sword Art, I've heard mixed things on, so I have to figure out Sword Art. I guess Apothecary Diaries, Violet Evergarde were stuff that came up too, and then the longer ones are the One Piece, the Naruto, finishing up Super.
Yeah, that way we could just Super was super fantastic for so many things of so many reasons. The fights, the Tournament of Power arc was great, amazing. Seeing Moro and other people, going on was fantastic. See how things will be going. Yeah, that's absolutely fine, Paul. It's like we're just not trying to give anybody too much shine or too much negativity in any regard.
Yeah, I just let
We're
it.
geeks who like to have these conversations. So it is what it is. Some people have very strong opinions about certain things, and they want to see things done a certain way that we just can't. It's like unless the creator of Demon Slayer was like, "Hey, I give Geek Variants full express written permission and legal authority to stream our episodes directly onto their YouTube and onto their Twitch." We can't do it. It's just that's the way things work. Legality is a fun little loophole for things that you definitely don't want to try and be like jumping through and trying to do things. Be like, hey, recommending something that's not legal for anybody or anything. We parents don't want to do that for anybody. We're just here to make as much content as we can and make as much content that you guys, the viewers, like. We cover all things Marvel. We cover all things DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, more. And that being said, there's so much great content rolling around the corner that's just even not anime related, but we have so much anime just to catch up on. It's like I still need to go watch Shogun. People have been saying it's absolutely impeccable. Haven't seen a single episode of it.
2 episodes in. Oh yeah, glad we were able to make your day. Again, we just enjoy watching this stuff, and I'm actually gonna try to stream a bit more. I'm just gonna watch more obscure, shorter animes that I can just kind of binge quickly, and I'll just probably spend days on here just binging stuff and talking on Twitch.
I just like hanging out with the community, growing the community, being a geek with other geeks. We don't gatekeep. We don't guard information. I just try and keep spoilers to a minimum about stuff for people, just because I know how people are when they first roll in with new shows. It's like I'm further ahead than Will is in most animes as far as like the manga is concerned. It doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and be like, "Hey, Will, this happens." Ruins it for him. Let him have his time. Let him
We can do it
enjoy
for a
what he
while.
wants to enjoy. When things finished, then we can sit back and discuss it like that. We can just talk about what we have right here, right now, with our shows and all that good stuff. Um, that being said, how much closer do you think we are to the episode recap, Will? When do you want to go ahead and do that? I watched Oshi
No,
no Ko.
I have
I don't even
no
know what that
idea what
is.
it is, but I'll probably Google it later on and see what it's about.
Because there's a lot of good shows that have been popping up, and there's even stuff that we've just been flat out missing. Like Hell's Paradise, we were about a year late. Charlie, Oshi no Ko is good, not gonna lie. Ooh, maybe that's something worth covering. I mean, I don't know what it's about entirely. Oh, it's sad? Come on.
I mean,
Paul's just out here trying to make us cry on stream, which I will do. I tear up over
I,
easy stuff.
I
Like
have
Hallmark
understanding.
commercials, I'll cry over that stuff. I don't know why. That's just who I am. I'm just one of those people, man.
That's
So it's
it.
like especially if you put on like Naruto during the see the first thing of Naruto, like during the pain arc, cried during that like a baby. Cried like a baby. First episode, an hour long. Are you googling what that is, Will, or should I?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it before because it was a whole big thing when it first came out. Like people were like going nuts. Um, the story begins with a beautiful girl, her perfectly fake smile, and the people who love her selfishly for it. And what transpires behind the scenes apparently is a lot more complex. So
I mean, it has its own fandom and its own wiki. There's
yeah,
a huge fan base, but also people are against it for some reason. Wow. But again, it's the internet. Who agrees on everything on the internet? I
11
can say,
episodes.
the sky is above us. There will be someone that disagree with me.
Yep.
So this kind of is.
Idols and actors. Okay.
It's like,
Yeah, it's
how
something I can do.
mature is it? That's my main question.
Is
Like,
what?
there's certain things mature is it? Like, how many things can we cover?
I mean,
Weekly Young Jump comics, drama, mystery, and supernatural. It's not really out of the realm.
I mean, as long as nothing's worse than the boys, I'm for
I
sure.
mean, as long as it's not as bad as Goblin Slayer, Goblin Hunter, Goblin Slayer,
I
whatever
heard
that
of
was.
that. Yeah, that's something else on
That
my
first
list.
episode messed me up. I wasn't ready. I could not progress past that first episode. It was just too dark. I was straight out. Just for everyone who to be also aware, I'm also very, very soft when it comes to supernatural or horror films. I just could not do it. It's like I watched, I want to say, the first 15 minutes of Goblin, and I was out. I was gone.
You're making me want to go watch it freaking today and go see.
It it's it's not supernatural. It's just dark, twisted, and cynical. And people are like, it's fine after you get past the first episode. That first episode was dark enough. I don't want to be involved with it. It's like everything, but about like what is the other one? Guts, Berserk. Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So
yeah.
out. So out. It's like that's some people's bread and butter, and people swear it's great. Hey, enjoy it. More power to you.
Berserk had
I'm just a wimp.
its moment with that. I know I had to get Tony on some of that. Like you'll probably get into it.
Tony would love it, and I would be just sitting there in a corner cowering, just be like, nope, can't do it. I'm out. Just can't do this. Look, I stick with my comfortable, cozy Lord of the Rings Hobbit hole or my Star Wars cantina, and I'm comfortable. Those are my niches. Those are my wheelhouses. You have your Marvel, you got your DC, and you are quite the weeb as well.
Marvel all day, freaking. I think Marvel and video games are more my wheelhouse than anything, and anime is something I got into when I was freaking younger, and then I fell off for a while, so with that, freaking I had to come back around to catch more because I was traveling, so didn't really get to sit still and watch everything.
Oh yeah, so it's like, see, Paul gets it. Paul gets it. But like at the same time, like I think we all went through phases where we're like, yeah, anime, this is the greatest thing ever, and then we like go away from it a few years because like you become an adult and people are like, oh, you can't like these things because it makes you such and such. I'm just gonna enjoy them that much harder for those that fell off, just so we're all clear. I'm gonna enjoy it that much more passionately. I don't care. Being an adult just means I have money to buy the things I want from these shows. You can't stop me.
Yeah, you don't see all the Marvel and Star Wars, Pokemon, freaking no. Whatever I feel like getting. So and my background rotates so often because I be buying stuff and I'm like, okay, I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put this or where I'm gonna put that, and then I turn around and give some stuff away because I done got too much stuff. I mean,
and don't worry, guys, we do giveaways, so it's definitely me. So not when people say anime is for kids, young people. Yes, anime covers so much more intense stuff than all the people's favorite adult TV shows ever have. And I don't care who you are, there's something for everyone. If you just want to watch an anime about basketball, they have that. An anime about soccer or volleyball, they have that. You want people who are children out here slaying demons? We just covered that.
yeah, they just dropped tickets for Haikyuu.
I think it's IQ, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say it right, so that, but I think it's like a volleyball, something like that.
It's super popular in Japan.
Yeah, super popular, so that.
Same with the Blue Lock as well.
Super movie drops next week, so it's like they got like 4 seasons. I'm like, I might binge it and go watch the movie, freaking, or see if the movie can be watched still alone. I don't know, like.
I say it's rather adventurous because June, we're getting busy. June is going to be a crazy month for us. A soccer player myself. Hey, I played soccer for a while. I played goalie. I took a soccer ball to the nuts and said never again. So that was that.
I just downloaded Football Club 24 on PlayStation because it was free and I'm learning about it. But my brother, he plays soccer. He enjoy football. He corrects me every time. Football.
It's a world sport. It is the world's most popular sport. We as Americans are like, oh yeah, it's just football. With football pads, the football itself. Watch all the seasons. Which show are you talking about specifically, Miley? Because if you're talking about Demon Slayer, Crunchyroll has all the seasons. They haven't broken down through the arcs. Hulu has a lot of them, but it does not have the latest season because Crunchyroll bought the exclusive rights in the United States, at least. I can't speak for the world in so many regards. So,
the Haikyuu, I think, freaking is on Crunchyroll as well. Yeah, season 1, 26 episodes, season 2, 25, season 3, 10, 2 movies, it looks like.
Yeah, Demon Slayer, best
all on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
All on Crunchyroll.
Run with the Wind. I don't even know what that is. I still need to, what else I need to watch? The Boy and the Heron. The latest film. I need to watch that.
I went to go see. I had tickets to the movies and stuff like that, but I got called in and I could not make it. I was so pissed because it's only in theaters for a short time, so that aggravated me to no end because I really wanted to go sit down and watch that in the theater.
especially because it's going to be the final Ghibli film. You can't find them all. It might. Where are you located, Miley? Just say country if you can, because like certain countries they don't have them all. Crunchyroll has every single season. It's just broken down into different arcs, like the Swordsmith Village arc versus the Hashira Training arc, Entertainment Village arc. Which one did I miss? Did I miss all of them? No, it's Kimetsu no
So it's the
Yaiba.
regular, it's the freak season. Then they got the Mugen Train movie. Then they got the Mugen Train arc, which is essentially the movie that Scotland. I don't think. Well, I don't see why you wouldn't have it.
It's like I don't know why Scotland would be against demon slaying. Because I mean that, that would be something. Oh, track and field anime, very funny. But Scotland, I don't. Is there any? I'm gonna Google that now. I'm just too curious. Does
Yeah, freaking. But everything is showing on there. If you want to watch most of it, that and at least get some of it in, then Hulu and I think Netflix has some.
Yeah, Hulu and Netflix around the world covers usually a lot of the gaps, Miley, just in case. Because I don't know what the exclusivity rights, laws, regulations, all that other stuff is elsewhere. But I know, at least at the States, what we got here. It's like I would hope Scotland has it. I don't see anything that's saying Scotland would have it banned. It's like, or at least stopped in some regards. So, also, beautiful area of the world. I need to go visit that. The UK is somewhere I need to visit, and then I need to go over to Scotland as well. Just that whole area I've heard so many good things about, and I want to go see Italy at some point as well. We need to take Geek Variants on the road, go hang out with the geeks, because I know at some point I'm definitely going to try and do something in Japan. I've been 3 times. I love it there. The people are so great and accommodating. Danish, oh heck yeah! Next episodes are coming out so late I have to watch it Monday. What? Why do you guys have it behind?
Yes. So yeah, I'm looking at Netflix. They have up to Swordsmith Village arc.
So yeah, Netflix got some of the coverage, but yeah, Danish. Wow, that's cool. Danish going to. Why are we going to Asia, June? I mean, Paul, why are we going there? What's that all about? Hopefully, this is like a business trip and nothing too serious. And then yeah, Netflix got some of it. While the rest of the seasons where I can find them. I mean, Hulu might cover the rest of the gap. I don't know when their licensing changed or how that licensing works worldwide. That's something I definitely have to take a look at and go take a look see. I want to visit. Heck yeah, visits are always nice. Always a good time overall with tons of just meeting, family, friends, all that good stuff. And for those who are joining, just like hang out and chat. Easiest way to find us again should something happen to you guys while you go wide, hit that lovely red subscribe button. Should be the little icon under Will or the red subscribe box. Keeps you more easily in touch with all things geek. We try and get on for as many live streams as we can so we can hang out with people on Twitch, hang out with people on YouTube, just kind of like talk shop, talk all things geek, talk all things coming up because like Star Wars The Acolyte's 2 weeks out. I am geeking out over that, but I know a lot of people are reserved over it. But Demon Slayer right now has full attention. Same with My Hero, which Will, I can't believe you were as shocked as you were. I would have figured you would have figured out who the traitor for UA was a little bit earlier.
I mean, I wasn't looking that hard and stuff either because again, the way the line was. So I went back and watched season 2, and I ended up watching. I was watching up to a certain point, and it was like right before we got to right when they're out there in the woods and stuff, right? And I see freaking all that stuff go down. It's like, okay, this makes sense now, freaking, because President Mike said something and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, at the time, it was kind of a throwaway in my head. So that was like I heard it, I was listening to it, but there wasn't an immediate payoff for it. So it just kind of slipped out of mind for a second and then came back around again. And I was just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's where it came from. So I'm seeing the signs now. But freaking, yeah, it wasn't expected because you see the person who would most likely be the traitor was the one who found out about the traitor.
Oh yeah. And I was 100% trying to hype that up for you to continue to throw you off until the moment happened. I just wanted to have that moment live where it's like I knew something you didn't. I was like,
yo, my face. I had to go back and look at my face like, what? Why? What happened? And then just everything went down from there. So I'm really excited for the next episode. And it's just like, all right, I need to know what's happening.
I decided to watch the Todoroki's find out the Dobby's their brother. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. A lot of people weren't expecting it. I'm a huge Dobby fan. I have like 4 or 5 figures from when I was in Japan, because I play the machines as much as I can, the claw machines, to try and get those guys out of there because I just really really enjoy it. And then last time we went to Akihabara, which if you are an anime fan, you love figures, you love collectibles, you love pops, you love all that good stuff. I'm staring directly into your soul right now, Will. Go to Akihabara.
Hey
Just
man,
try
don't.
not to
Yeah,
go at night because Akihabara at night is more of an adult district than it is more like intended for kids.
I'm going for both. Freaking so whatever. I'm gonna check everything out. I'm gonna go see what's going on. But yeah, remember you got a Dobby pop on the way. Freaking to you. So
I appreciate you. And yeah, it was sad that Shoto was crying. There was so much like family stuff going on. Top 3 characters from MHA, My Hero Academia, Dabi, Bakugo, and then that third spot is almost always ever changing. So I'm at this time I'm going to have to go with, honestly, I'm gonna have to put Deku in that third spot. Deku would probably sneak into that third spot right now. I like Shoto. I think he's a cool character. Yeah, I got a chainsaw figure too. They're so nice. But yeah, Will's got all the posters over there because he's his fave 3: Bakugo, Shoto, and Deku. It's like it the anime is so amazing. Like I really wanted to be able to be a bigger fan of was it Todoroki the bird?
the bird, yeah, freaking
Yeah. He's
is
his
what's
art is
called
so cool.
Fumagaki Tokoyami.
Tokiyami, yeah, he's so cool. But it's like he
Fumagaki.
doesn't get enough of the story on him for me to be like, yeah, this is my guy. This is the person I'm like 100% going to be following through and through, you know, in all regards. Top 3 ships. I don't even bother with that, truth be told. Everyone's kids, so I just kind of stick out of it and be like, hey, you guys can enjoy what you want. I know Deku's got ships everywhere, no matter which way you look at it. But at the same time, I just kind of like, as far as the romance is concerned, because it's all kids, I'm just like, hey,
I
not my
got
concern, man.
I got one. I got one.
Hmm?
Aizawa and Miss Joke. Just because they're hilarious together.
Yeah,
That's it.
that is
Freaking
that's absolutely like that is
that's just funny to
super
me.
interesting.
That's just funny to me.
Yeah,
Other than
Deku
that,
shipped with everybody, man. He's literally shipped with Bakugo. Even people are like, this needs to exactly happen. I'm like, they're just friends. Bakugo hates this man to a certain
wait,
extent,
look,
but all right.
people
It's
can
like when
ship
the
whatever
Naruto
they want.
Sasuke stuff happens, you're just like, why? And it's like, oh yeah, they actually kissed, so like it actually, transpired at some point, but it was a completely accidental moment. It's not like they were intending on romance and passion to be behind it. But anime is anime. People are going to ship who they're going to ship. Is like when we watch Marvel shows, people ship certain people in certain ways. Deku, Shadowbaka. I mean, yeah, those are some definitely. They shipped them with. Oh my man, this is why the internet be wild and sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, internet's gonna internet. That's all you can say. Internet's gonna internet. Whatever they
Oh
do.
yeah, it's like I'm just not trying to get like involved in all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just want these shows to be good, and as long as they're continuing to be good, the fan base can do what the fan base is going to do. Because like
They're
for
gonna do what
ships,
they
the
do. Again,
only
I say,
thing that's like the thing with ships we're concerned is Baldur's Gate 3. That was the only time where I was like I was shipping characters with other characters, and it was like it's because everyone was adults, everyone was
because it
basically
made
open as
sense to
can
get the
be.
different dynamics, like for the characters and stuff. Again, you want to make them fight. I want to make people fight. I think I cut off Carly's head first time I met her.
How could you?
I
Carlac
mean,
is best girl.
I was
You
fighting
were wrong for
everybody.
this.
I didn't have anybody. It was just me versus her when I showed up. I didn't know the background, so like that.
How did you
I,
miss everybody up to that moment in time?
I was running away. I was just running. I think I killed him. Like I cut off Gail's hand. So like that. I ain't like the hand reaching out trying to grab me. I cut it off. Like, yeah, I didn't care.
Oh yeah, it's totally fine, Charlie. It's okay. Giyu and his backstory, yeah, they covered some of it today. I think there's definitely going to be more trickling out as we're going, especially once we get to the Infinity Castle arc. That is where things are going to get wild. That's where things are going to definitely. So it's going to be, yeah, things are going to be. interesting. And then there's so many great YouTubers who cover like backstories, intimate character breakdowns, all that good stuff. That's definitely something that we on the channel want to start working our way towards. But right now, with like all the different things we have covered, we are swamped as it is. Because like what you did, the craziest back to back I've seen thus far, because you stayed up for My Heroes live stream, watched that with us and the channel, then woke up like 3 hours later, covered Kaiju, and then now you're here today. So it's like,
Yeah, I slept for like an hour and a half. I was like, yeah, it's whatever.
I
But
was gonna
again,
say,
I got work to do because again, I got all this MomoCon stuff to do and set up for all that. So
when is your MomoCon stuff? I don't want to hold you up too much because I know we still have
I
to
don't know.
do our full episodic breakdown.
I got training tonight, freaking at freaking 7 p.m. that I
Oh,
gotta
so you
go.
got plenty of time because you're an East Coaster. You still got another couple hours, but also I don't know if you got things you got to get going on. I mean, Giyu and Sabito together happy. Like, it'd be cool for them as friends to like, depart however they please and be able to move on, together. That they would be able to be happy, and just that Sabito was happy. Giyu was able to accept what happened, move on with it, and then try and live his life the best he can. He's like, let's just be real here. Being a Hashira, your quality of life is minimal. I think Tengen's the only one whose quality of life you could say was high, and that was because he found happiness outside the core. So hence why he was able to retire and just kind of be like, "Yep, did what I needed to do, killed my demon here, moved on." AFO is Deku's dad. Heavy, heavy implications for that. Nothing has been confirmed 100% to my mind and to my knowledge. So it's like things are going to be interesting to see how they're going. Yep, welcome in Tanea. Tomioka, he came in strong today. Um,
Yes.
he was so hilarious, like especially that moment you talked about where he was like literally coming out of the bathroom and he's like, dude, I think this guy's gonna stalk me to the end of my days.
Yeah. He's like, freaking, you're here. Let's have this conversation.
I don't know how to chill, San. I don't know how to chill. Right now, we're just talking about all things geek because that's where the conversation's going. People are having conversations with us. This was a Demon Slayer stream entirely, and then it's kind of progressed
Talk
to
about
some
anime.
more. So, apologies, we've gotten completely sidetracked and side tangented, but we're still trying to cover all things anime. People are here having good talks, good dialogues with us. So, like, the only
Yeah.
thing I could do is I could change the episode title to Anime Talk if that works better for everyone, so you don't keep coming in just here for only for the Demon Slayer, which has wrapped up what, half hour, 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, it went live at like 1:45.
I
So
was gonna say 1:45 your time, 11:45 mine. So it's been a fantastic and wild ride. It's been nice getting to talk to all the geeks who've been coming in, filing in, having these conversations with us as things have been going. I don't know what that word means. Gonna be honest.
what's the
To the
word?
internet.
Cherophobia. Oh,
What
that's a
is
new
that?
one.
Irrational aversion to being happy. I
Hmm.
mean, maybe.
It's quite possible.
He could also just be someone who puts too much pressure on himself to succeed and too much pressure upon himself to like be something that is just inhumanly possible, because there's certain people who do like amazing things in life, they're just never happy because there's never enough to satiate them. They're always like on to the next thing, on to the next best thing, and it'd be tough. But I'm just happy that Giyu is finding someone who can see the light in himself. He needs it. He definitely needs it. It's like he has all of these Hashira who truly want to be his friend for the most part, other than probably Sanami, because Sanami probably wants to shank him.
Hmm.
So
Simon wants to shake everybody.
Sanami woke up and chose violence. That's who he is, but also I don't fault him for that. When we get more of his backstory, like who he's about, you kind of see why he is the way he is, which is going to be fun for this. So it's 9 p.m. Danish time, 2100, because military time. I assume that's 9 our time for the U.S. I don't know how the
So
world is.
2100. So yeah, you military time. So that. So
Yeah.
Again, everyone in the world. That's what I say. I'm so used to military time over this AM PM stuff than anything. But yeah. So
And the easy way for people to tell military time, if they, like Charlie said, 2100, you take 2100, you subtract 12 from it, it's 9. And that would be PM because it's above 12. That's how you know it's like nighttime. And you want to see all your friends smile, Paul. You want to see all your friends smile, be happy, win together, grow together. Hence why it's so much fun being involved with Geek Variants, where we're all just talking to each other, getting to know each other, having a good time, growing a community together with, talking about all things geek that we enjoy. Tony is the grumpy member of the group, but when you get him excited talking about shows he loves, like you talk to him like a good horror movie, or you talk to him about DC or like the X-Men, that man can light up and talk more than I can, which is right now saying a lot because I think I've rambled on here for what, an hour 30 minutes of the conversation of the 2 hours we've been talking.
hey man, is what it is. I was sitting there looking up freaking if any other voice actors are going to be there. Freaking Tuxedo Mask voice actor for the Japanese VA.
The Tuxedo Mask.
The Tuxedo Mask. Japanese VA will be there. Overhaul English VA will be there.
Overhaul's voice actor is pretty dang good.
Yeah, he's on Five Nights at Freddy's, My Hero, League of Legends, JoJo. They play Diavolo and JoJo. So yeah, freaking Pokemon.
I was gonna say, like, the voice actor I want to meet the most is Christopher Sabat, and then I want to meet the voice of Star Killer. What's his name? I can picture the actor entirely. The guy who did Star Killer for Star Wars, and he did Darth Maul for Star Wars, and he's just a geek through and through when it comes to all things Star Wars. Like, his vast knowledge is insane. So I'm excited to see what all stuff that entails, what all that covers. Soon we'll get to that episode breakdown where we'll break down everything that happened directly in this episode, leave it up for you guys to kind of talk and see about. When the live streams are popular, we tend to live stream longer, and then we will do our episode recap for everyone who's like unable to make the live streams because we want everyone to have the same level of knowledge. You want to be like, hey, click on 2 hours in to be what's going on here. We just want to have conversations. Charlie, appreciate that comment big time, but we just want to have conversations. We're not gatekeeping. I don't want to pretend that we have any knowledge that makes us better or superior than anybody else. We're just all geeks. We're all just trying to have a good time. We're adults or teenagers or kids who are passionate about the things we enjoy. Like, I have literally next to me a Pokédex binder of Pokemon cards. I'm a geek. I'm one of those. I'm one of us. I have Kaiju number 8. I have manga literally nearby as well within arm's reach. This is basically just, these are things we enjoy. These are things we're passionate about. We're not trying to sell you on a whole bunch of stuff. We're just geeks. We just want to talk. We want to hang out. We want to grow a community where people feel like they can voice their troubles, their frustrations, the things that they're going through on their day with us. Yeah, I lost all my childhood Pokemon cards, Charlie. All of them, because I moved across the country in the United States twice, so I lost them. So I have been slowly getting more back.
But I still got a couple of mines.
Yeah, most of my Pokemon cards actually came from my trips to Japan because they have these lovely vending machines where you could put in a couple Japanese yen, and then boom, out pops a pack of Pokemon cards that are usually very nice quality. So it's like it's fantastic. And then later today, I would like to do a Fallout stream, play some more Fallout 4 video games with you guys later. Obviously, if you're available, more welcome to come in and chat and tell me everything I'm doing wrong. Oh, brother took your cards. Yep. The love of family, ain't it? Did you and your brother have disputes over cards, Will?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. So that there's definitely times where freaking I feel like stuff was missing. I'm like, why is this missing? And we had to have conversations, some real brotherly conversations about stuff that was going on. And then even now, I'm going through some old stuff again. See these old ratty binders, stuff like that. I found with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, there's certain gaps where cards are missing that should be here because I don't leave gaps in my cards. Like I fill up the whole pages, so I have to figure out, what was missing what was taken and
Put everything
deal with
back
the
in
people
its proper
accordingly.
place.
So it
And yeah,
speaks
it's like,
what happened.
and like, yeah, brothers and sisters and family members, things go missing. It's like, and if you can't make stuff, don't feel bad. We're just continuing to do this stuff because we like doing this stuff. We're not being like, hey, you have to be here to be a subscriber. Subscribe to what you want to, watch what you want to, enjoy what you want to when you have the time to do so. We all got lives, we all got things going on. We understand some people are busy than others. Some people are, more comatose than others and will kind of pop in when they can, or they're only here because, like, hey, I liked your Fallout stream. I'm only here for that. Or here, I'm only here for, all that other stuff. You guys know FNAF by any
I'm
chance?
learning about
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Friday Night at Freddy's. I'm learning about it now. So I don't know much about it. So, but a friend of mine, she put me onto it. She was like, "Yo, go check this out." So at that, so it's like, all right, cool, and I'm gonna see what's going on with it. But it's insanely popular for a lot of people. I think there's movies, video games,
There's a
stuff.
cult following for it.
So I got to go see what it's about. So that's probably gonna be one of my next projects, and it'll be definitely probably a YouTube video at some point where it's like, all right, I finally went and watched, Friday Night at Freddy's, and played again, whatever, and
See what
yeah,
the hype is about.
you see exactly what's going on with it. So
Because I remember when that first came on, and PewDiePie was one of like the first people to like kind of, at least in my mind, put that on for so many people. And it's like, I don't think he ever realizes like how much he did for geeks in general to like just have a place to sit there and watch content just be weird together. So it's like I still want to go see I want to go see Matthew Lillard. I want to meet him. Shaggy, and he was in Five Nights at Freddy as well. Like I feel like every role he's been in, he's like encapsulated the characters he's meant to. There was a funny because of a character called William. Oh wow. It's like so yeah. I guess there's a little bit to break down in that film because I don't really mess with the horror genre period. So I'm just gonna be honest about that. So like, even though Five Nights at Freddy's probably very very tame, like I think the darkest horror film I ever finished, like start to finish, and wasn't like entirely ruined by, would have been Paranormal Activity, and it wasn't that scary, but like for me, ruined, could not do it. It's like, and then I think The Strangers was the only other one that I watched. Where I was like, yeah, this isn't that bad, and now they're making a new one, which they will obviously continue to advertise for. Because I leave YouTube on in the background at night for like background noise, like kind of that white noise that people sleep to, and those commercials almost always wake me. I'm like, what the hell? Why? Why is the volume so different on ads versus certain other things where it's just steady volume? But you know, that's
just
just
message you.
probably, but they're doing a great job of it. Like the only way to remove the ads would be, for me to stop being cheap and get YouTube Premium. But I'm still not there yet. I'm still not ready to commit to that at this time.
No, I just get everything and call it a day.
They missed out so much on the Byte, SL, and much other things. I don't know what any of this means. Charlie, please explain. You've lost me entirely. But that also could just be because I'm me. So that's my bad.
School about Scott. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, freaking. It's a point and click survival horror game developed and published by Scott Cawthon. The role of Mike Schmidt, an ex-security guard at Family Pizzeria. Schmidt must complete his shifts without being confronted by homicidal animals. Homicidal animatronic characters that wander the restaurant at night.
And it's like I think you remember correctly. There's something involving like a flashlight, and you had to shine it at the right time. If you didn't have it shining on them, they can move closer to you. And it was a really good jump scare style game that people like when I was growing up were in love with it because it was like I think it was a computer game, and then it slowly kept having this cult following and growing, and then next thing you know, people are like, hey, let's make a movie out of it. So where we're at. It's been a fantastic and wild chat. I'll say that much. Will, are you getting ready to get that recap started? Because I feel like we're starting to reach that wind down point. I'm loving
Yeah.
conversation chat, but I think at the same time, I think I need to respect your time and get you off.
Yeah, we can hit the recap whenever we need to hit. The bite of '83,
A little
little boy
more.
who's torn his older brother Michael.
But yeah,
I don't
sure.
think about idea to shove his crying child's head into Fred's ears and mouth. Hmm. You got Among dancing, and it's like 2 hours long. That's a
I
competition.
totally get Paul. I totally get it. It's like if you're available, you're available. If not, we're not gonna have anything. And then the spring locks. Then yeah. Oh, dang, that's dark. That is some dark stuff.
It is dark,
And
but so that means I'm gonna check it out at some point. So that's what I should. That's definitely gonna happen. I'm gonna look into this. And the Hmong dancing, I've heard of this. I'm gonna Google some videos on it because I know it's some kind of dance. I heard about it when crossing about hula and stuff like that, and learning some more stuff about different like Polynesian dances and stuff like that. And Hmong came up with something else in it. So I don't know what region Hmong is from, but again, that's something else. I like learning stuff, random stuff. So that's why I get called Google a lot because I'm always Googling stuff.
he is significantly more well versed in things than I am. I usually stick towards my lanes, and like I always respect people who do have different hobbies and different interests because we're all adults here. Spending time judging people is an excessive waste of time, energy, and effort. Enjoy what you enjoy. Enjoy it passionately and unapologetically, and live your life the way that you seem fit. As long as you're not putting down others or taking advantage of others, enjoy yourself. Have a good time. That being said, are we about ready to get into our recap episode? If you're subscribed,
Yep.
it'll pop up on your feed here probably within the next 30 minutes or so. Are you ready, Will?
Yeah, I'm good. So appreciate you. Look, Charlie, Paul, Miley, everybody who was, here. Appreciate you guys. And we'll knock this stuff out and keep it moving.
All right. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You only got to hit her once. If you're on Twitch, be sure to hit that follow button. We had a great stream with each and every one of you. I had a fantastic time learning about each and every one of you, some of the passions of the culture, some show ideas even for us to cover. Thank you so much. So much cool stuff to be learning about with each and every one of you, the Geek Variants. Let's continue to grow this community and grow it together as we all do and have helped each other so much. We'll see you in the next one.